ATI for refusing to apologize after my neighbor's daughter ran away. I'm a single father, have been for 8 years now. My son Timothy is 16. Good kid, quiet, spends most of his time gaming, reading, studying, the kind of teenager who doesn't give you much trouble. I work in finance. Long hours, stressful, but it pays the bills and puts food on the table. We live in a semi-urban neighborhood, quiet street, decent people, or at least I thought. Until last week. Let me back up. 2 houses down from us lives the Chin family. David, Margaret, and their daughter Sophie. Sophie's the same age as Timothy. They grew up together. Not friends exactly, but familiar neighborhood kids. When they were younger, Sophie used to come over to play video games. Timothy had a better console. It was innocent. But as they got older, I started noticing things. Sophie changed. Or maybe she was always like this, and I didn't see it before. By 14, she'd had a boyfriend. By 15, she'd had 4. By 16, I lost count. I'm not judging. Teenagers date. That's normal. But the way she dated concerned me. Timothy would mention it casually. Sophie broke up with one boy, started dating another. It was a pattern. And it wasn't just relationships. It was the drama. Crying at school, public fights, late night posts online. Teenagers are dramatic. I get that. But I'm a father. 6 months ago, I sat Timothy down and told him I thought he should keep his distance from Sophie. He wasn't interested in her romantically, so keeping distance wasn't hard. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. Last Tuesday around 9:15 p.m., there was a knock on my door. It was Sophie. She was standing on my porch. No coat, eyes red. She had been crying. She asked if she could talk to me. Every instinct told me to say no, but she looked wrecked. I let her in, sat across from her, got her water, kept everything appropriate. She told me her family was falling apart. Her parents were fighting constantly. She believed her father was having an affair. Her mother was depressed. Sophie was caught in the middle. Her parents vented to her, tried to make her take sides. She felt overwhelmed. She used relationships as an escape to feel wanted because she felt unseen at home. She talked for 40 minutes. I told her I couldn't fix things, that she needed to talk to her parents together or a counselor if needed. I told her to go home. It was late. She thanked me and left. I thought that was it. The next morning, my phone rang. Sophie had run away after fighting with her parents. The neighborhood was in chaos. Her parents were outside. Police were involved. I offered help. Margaret looked at me and said I caused this. She accused me of telling Sophie to confront them, of putting ideas in her head. I told them I only advised communication, nothing more. David demanded I apologize publicly and talk to police. I refused. I said I had done nothing wrong. They said if anything happened to Sophie, it would be my fault. I went back inside. By noon, the neighborhood Facebook group was flooded with posts about me. People accused me of manipulation. Someone posted my address. Neighbors I'd known for years turned on me. Timothy saw the posts. Kids at school started asking him if I was a creep. Sophie was found safe the next day at a friend's house, but her parents still demanded an apology. The neighborhood avoided me. Someone left a note on my car calling me a predator. Timothy is scared. He thinks we need to move. I keep replaying everything. I listened. I gave appropriate advice. I sent her home. And now I'm being destroyed for it. So Reddit, AITA for refusing to apologize for something I didn't do? For protecting my integrity, even if it cost me everything? Or am I just the scapegoat for a family that refuses to face its own problems? Update. I filed lawsuits against my neighbors and my former employer. It has been 3 days since I posted my original story. 3 days that somehow made everything worse and slightly better at the same time. I need to update you because this situation has spiraled in worse ways. The day after I posted, Thursday evening around 6:30 p.m., Timothy and I were eating dinner in silence. We'd been doing that a lot lately. The neighborhood made their choice. The doorbell rang. Timothy panicked and told me not to answer it. I checked the camera first. It was Sophie on my porch. She was looking small. Every instinct told me not to open the door, but I opened it anyway. I told her she should not be there and asked if her parents knew. They did not. She apologized for everything. She said she told her parents the truth, that I did nothing wrong, but they would not listen. She had seen what the neighborhood was posting and said none of it was true. I told her it did not matter anymore. People had already decided what to believe. She said she wanted to fix it. I told her this was not her responsibility. I told her to go home, focus on healing, and work on things with her parents. She promised she would make it right and walked away. I went back inside. Timothy was pale and scared. I checked the security footage. The door stayed open. No contact. Everything was recorded. I saved the footage in multiple places. The next morning, I woke up to dozens of text messages. They were not hate messages. They were apologies. People said they were sorry for believing rumors and wanted to apologize in person. Sophie had made a public post explaining everything. She said I listened, gave appropriate advice, and did nothing wrong. She said the accusations against me were lies. The comments were mostly apologetic. Some were still skeptical. The narrative was changing, but I felt numb. The damage was already done. Later that morning, my boss called and told me to come into the office immediately. When I arrived, he was there with HR. They showed me an anonymous email which presented an exaggerated version of the event. I told them it was false and that Sophie had publicly stated nothing inappropriate happened. They said they had seen the post, but still needed to take the complaint seriously. They placed me on paid administrative leave, pending review. I argued that the accusation was anonymous and defamatory. They said it was company policy and they needed to protect their reputation. I left the office furious and sat in my car for 20 minutes trying to calm down. I had done everything right and was still being punished. That is when I decided to stop taking it quietly. I called my lawyer, Janet. I've used her for contracts, estate planning, standard stuff. She picked up, Janet, I need to sue someone. Multiple someones. Can you do that? Defamation, harassment, and wrongful termination if it comes to that. Yeah, I have evidence. Lots of it. When I got home, Timothy showed me what he had been doing. He had been documenting every defamatory post, comment, and accusation. There were dozens of posts calling me all sorts of vile stuff. Someone had posted my home address publicly as a warning. Timothy said he knew I might need the evidence. I told him we were fighting back. Over the weekend, my lawyer and I built the case. We had security footage, audio recordings, screenshots, and documentation. There was also vandalism. Someone spray painted my garage. We found out each and every name behind it. There was proof that my suspension was based on an anonymous complaint. My lawyer said I had multiple strong cases. We filed lawsuits on Monday.
If my employer does not reinstate me, we will pursue wrongful termination. Process servers delivered papers on Tuesday. By afternoon, my phone was filled with panicked messages. Neighbors wanted to talk. I did not respond. The neighborhood is now divided between panic, apologies, and denial. Sophie's parents came to my door begging me to drop the lawsuit. They said they were scared parents and made a mistake. I told them they tried to destroy my life with lies. They asked me to accept an apology instead. I told them this was the consequence of their actions. You wanted a predator, you will get one. They begged on my porch. I did not open the door. Timothy asked me if I was doing the right thing. I told him doing nothing was destroying us. If I win, there will be damages and formal apologies. If I lose, we move and start over. People ask if this is worth it. My answer is yes. They tried to ruin my life without evidence or questions. They wanted to paint me as a predator, so I will give them one. Apologies do not undo what they did. I need accountability. I am suing everyone who defamed me, and my employer, if they do not make this right. I did nothing wrong. The first court date is in 3 weeks. My lawyer says some cases will likely settle. Others may fight. If they fight, we will see them in court. I am done being the victim. This neighborhood wanted a villain. I will fight back with evidence, lawyers, and the truth. Let's see how that works out for them.